Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Less Than Normal, the only show on the internet that's reminding you that if it's warm, it probably smells bad. You get no context! Because that's true of a lot of things. Have you ever warmed up milk?
No, Dave, I've never warmed up milk.
I mean, you have to for making, like cheese sauce.
I've
right?
never made cheese sauce.
But, like, you can warm milk up to a point where it's no longer milk, it's just kind of that gel that smells weird.
Also, it really bothers me that you fucking pronounce it milk. Hello, everyone,
It's
and
milk.
welcome to Less
I
Than
said
Normal.
milk.
I am Chris, and joined with me is Dave, who apparently pronounces shit weird. The same people... Dude, the people that pronounce milk are the same people that pronounce pillow fucking pillow. Correction, there
It's
is
milk and
no
pillow.
E in either word.
I said milk, goddammit.
You straight up said milk, bro.
You just said the exact word I just said.
Dude, hey, listen. It's milk. Like milky. I don't know.
Hey, you want to talk about milky? You should see my eyes after I die.
I'm from the Northeast, so we just pronounce it milk.
You're from the Northeast, so you also don't pronounce ours.
No, we fucking don't.
You parked the car in the yard and walked to the bar.
They all just fucking sound like this, and oh my god, it's so cold. When's summer? Summer hits and like, oh my god, it's so fucking hot. When's winter? I can't stand this fucking hot weather no longer. Ugh, the Northeast. Apparently, I have a thick Northeast accent.
You really don't.
That's what I thought. Connecticut's that weird, like, in between New York and Boston. So we get that mix between New York accent and Boston accent.
Hang on. So my roller is fucked for my cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
As some of you are aware, but the vinyl part that you put the tobacco in to roll it, I've had to tape back together multiple times, and the tape keeps fucking up. I had to fix it again today. No sooner do I tape the vinyl back together than the plastic base cracks in half, so now it's all taped together. I have a new one coming tomorrow in the mail, so it'll be fine. But it is so fucked up. This is what it thinks a cigarette looks like.
Bro, that looks like a J if I've ever seen one.
This looks like someone hand-rolled a fucking joint and I used the machine to roll a cigarette.
This is fair. You know, Bear, I didn't really look at it like that, but I guess if you want to put it in that context, we all have weird accents to you.
No, okay. But how is my accent when I speak Hebrew?
That's right. Dave actually knows Hebrew.
Not a lot.
No, you know some, which is more than I know. Also, if you see me disappearing off of camera, I am eating dinner at the same time because multitasking.
Not terrible, I'll take it. I've only been learning Hebrew since I was a child. When I was a young man, I went to a Messianic synagogue.
Just
church.
not how that song goes whatsoever.
Have you never seen Fiddler on the Roof?
No, Dave, I've never seen Fiddler on the Roof.
You haven't?
No.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
I'm dead serious.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
So there's a song.
Do I
if I
strike
remember
you as a
correctly,
show
there's
tunes
a
kind of
song
guy?
in Fiddler on the Roof where he goes, "If I was a young man," and then the song, "If I was a rich girl," right?
Yeah.
So I riffed off.
Which, by the
riffed
way,
off.
that song is not originally Gwen Stefani's. Can't remember who originally sang that song, but I know it came out in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's also a ripoff from Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah. Do I strike you as a show tunes kind of guy?
A little bit, yeah.
Really?
You have
I
a
was
boyfriend. You are a man who has a boyfriend.
Okay, he forced me to watch Hamilton, and this. All right, so this is a whole ass thing.
I've never seen Hamilton. I've heard lots of good things though.
I'm not really into musicals. They're not my vibe. Like, they never have been. I told Christian that, and he looks at me and goes, "Will you hand me your gay card?" It's like, okay, is that really all it takes?
Pretty much.
It's just, yeah. So I then sat. Hamilton is great, gamer. I agree. I did watch Hamilton. It's great. That being said, like, I could go the rest of my life without watching a musical, and I'm cool. Like, I was never a theater guy. That was never my vibe. I mean, I was in a few plays in school, but like, it was more for the.
I'm sorry, that was fucked up.
I was in your mom in school.
I don't even know where that came from. It just kind of came out of the ether, and I'm like, yeah, I'm saying this now.
He's like halfway through saying it. Are we saying this? We are. I think we are.
So Dave has this thing where, you know, that part of your brain that tells your mouth what to say and it checks in with the rest of your brain? Mine sometimes skips that step. So sometimes I say things and I know what I said at the same time you did.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Luckily, it's never happened with, you know, a few words that I sometimes say casually because my brain absorbs how other cultures speak. And there's a word that Aussies love to use that I occasionally use in the same manner. That
You
is
mean
super not appropriate here in the States.
You mean literally the name of our OBS Ninja chat today? I saw it and I just laughed like, oh, Dave.
Yeah.
By the way, as I was eating
I love
and talking,
that word. Like, and not as like an aggressive mean thing either, but like,
you're just like saying it.
It's a chewy word with like hard edges and a soft middle. It's like a Rolo.
Dude, I fuck with Rolos. Rolos fuck.
Rolos are the best. Like,
so
you want chocolate and caramel in the perfect proportions? Rolo does that Rolos, shit. Like, dude. Reese's got the peanut butter and chocolate.
Rolos, dude, Rolos fuck.
Rolo crushes
like, hardcore.
You know who also else crushes it, though?
What?
Toblerone.
I've never had them.
Really? Dude, they're so weird to eat. Okay, so for those of you who've never had a Toblerone, I'm going to teach you how to eat a Toblerone to make your life easier. Because it's a fucking triangle candy bar. Right? And then there are ridges in it like this. So what you do is you take the end of the candy bar and you push the outside one toward the inside one, and it'll snap up.
It seems like
And
a
you need
lot of
little
fucking
triangle squares.
mechanics we don't need to have for candy.
Dude, I like mechanics in boss battles and food, okay?
Also, apparently, it's a super Northeast thing to continue a conversation while you're eating. Like mid-chew.
It's a millennial thing.
Is it a millennial thing?
Yeah, because I do it too.
Do you do it too?
Yeah.
All right, no. I was gonna say, is it strictly a millennial thing? Because that's some stupid shit our generation would come up. Dude, fuck your potential spam. I don't have time for you. I'm kind of busy. So we took last week off. I was on vacation last week. Dave, how was your week away from the Less Than Normal show?
I don't remember last week.
That's a whole ass vibe.
I don't remember yesterday.
Again, whole ass vibe.
I need to be a good person and remember to do this. Oh god, because I have too many lights on. That's better.
That'll do it.
But yeah, no, we have a lot of shit in store for you guys today. We're gonna be talking about Thor. Our musician of the week is Stevie Wonder.
Indeed,
A bunch of weird stuff is going on in sports, including the shit show that is fucking NASCAR right now.
Oh my god, no, like, Dave, no, so, like, when you were in the bathroom earlier, Dave, fucking NASCAR news broke.
You don't have to tell them I poop.
Well, no, so Dave and I were talking, obviously, before the stream. He goes off to the bathroom. As soon as he goes off to the bathroom, fucking Twitter hits, more NASCAR news hits, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, I was explaining to him, dude, it's been a fucking crazy season.
Yeah, no, this whole year for racing in general has been kind of bonkers.
Yeah,
because there was all that IndyCar toss up with McLaren and
Alex Palou, that's news. I don't think I got to say this, but we're gonna cover the lawsuit between Chip Ganassi Racing and Alex Palou. That's coming up. We're gonna talk about that. Also, we're gonna talk about one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite TV show, coming back for its 13th season. Then we got the Thor stuff.
What show is coming back for its 13th season?
We will talk about that in a minute because we got Marvel stuff to hit.
Oh my
Dave,
god, there's so much Marvel stuff.
Not only do we have a movie to review, but we have two shows. One dropped today.
In its entirety, though, to be fair, if they made people wait a week to watch 3 minutes of video for the next month, I would be pissed.
That's some Marvel shit.
Okay, so where do we want to start? Let's start with Groot. So you've seen it, I have not.
Yes.
We're not going to cover Groot today to give people a chance to see it since it just came out today. We will cover it next week. But from what I saw of the previews, it looks absolutely adorable.
Oh, dude, I was so the whole time just like, oh my god, this is the best. But yes, I Am Groot, which is a 5-part series, which is just comprised of animated shorts that dropped in its entirety today. It's all on Disney Plus. Obviously, there's no continuity issues with voice actors. They reprise all of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters that are going to be in it. Obviously, Vin Diesel continues his voice work for Groot. Definitely recommend go watching it. It's adorable. You're not going to regret it. Gamer, it's great. Also, She-Hulk, we are 2 weeks away from She-Hulk?
That sounds right.
I believe it releases August 18th, so we are 8 days away from She-Hulk.
Oh.
Which...
Okay, so we'll start covering She-Hulk not next week or the week after, but the following week.
Right.
Because next week we'll have a show. The week after we will not. We're taking that week off. Chris is getting ready to move.
Yeah, so there's a possibility that the 24th and the 31st there will not be shows because I am getting ready to move.
There will not be a show on the 24th.
Yes,
There
but the 31st there may be a show.
it
Uh,
depends on how set up Chris is after his
yeah,
move.
right, and it's not like a quick little move. I'm moving pretty far away.
Yeah, he's
So
moving multiple states.
yes, it's about 17-hour drive. I'm moving. So yeah, just a heads up for that. So it'll probably cycle over, but we will cover She-Hulk. We'll talk about the cameo that I said was going to happen of one Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, to which is now led into a Daredevil TV show again.
Which we knew was coming anyway. My understanding is they're probably going to reboot it.
That's yeah. So it's all going to be MCU tie-in.
And
Because the
them
original
rebooting
was
it,
MCU.
and them rebooting it categorically states that the Netflix shows are non-canon.
Right. Which I'm
Which is
fine
kind of
with.
a big deal.
Yeah.
But it also says that people who did a good job playing the roles from other production companies, yada yada yada, will get to reprise the roles in the MCU. It sounds like.
Right, it's all going to be the same people from what I've heard.
Which means we might see some familiar faces with X-Men, which I've been saying forever we won't, but now it looks like we might.
Also, you and I have some other thoughts on other things we've discussed that we don't think are going to be the same now that we've looked into what's next. That's also something we can cover.
All right, so let's talk about Love and Thunder, and then we'll actually go in depth into the future of the MCU because we were going to do that last time, but we wanted to cover Love and Thunder in its entirety first to avoid spoilers.
Correct. All right. So, you want to start us off, Dave?
Okay. First thing I'm going to say: if you didn't like this movie, I don't understand why.
Facts.
There is an incredibly vocal minority who hates this movie, and I don't get it.
Those are the same people that hated Ragnarok, and I thought Ragnarok was personally my favorite Thor movie before Love and Thunder.
Well, and a lot of them are the same people who hated Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Which should have been a Wanda Maximoff title and not a Doctor Strange title. That I will agree with.
I do agree. I agree.
Because the story is about her, it just features Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Like, as the main character, but it's all about her story and her venture, right? Like, them calling it a Doctor Strange show feels about as genuine as them calling it an America Chavez show or a Wong show. Though if we want to get a America Chavez or Wong show, I'm here for it.
Same.
Okay, so Thor: Love and Thunder opens with just the saddest of boys. And he's tooling around with the Guardians of the Galaxy. We don't see him do much with them because he doesn't do much other than he breaks a bunch of shit. And gets back into shape.
Yeah, that was the best part, is watching Fat Thor get back into shape. I loved his the aesthetic that they went with when he was in shape and hanging out with Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, that's the most Thor thing you possibly could have done.
Dude, and his whole look reminded me of Big Trouble in Little Chinatown.
Yeah. I mean, even though Fat Thor had the Big Lebowski vibe. But
well, dude, okay, so part of me feels like one of Thor's reoccurring themes is they make him look like a character from another movie. As like a pop culture nod.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like Ragnarok, what was it? I feel like there was a scene in Ragnarok where he reminded me of somebody else.
Right.
When he first got the eye patch, it reminded me of Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Kurt Russell's character. That's what it was. Which it has the same kind of vibe. They're trying to escape from Sakaar.
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
You know, so
God, I have to watch Escape from New York again. It's been so long since I've seen it.
I love Kurt Russell, though.
Movie, dude, Kurt Russell's great.
Have you ever seen Executive Decision?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. Hot take, Executive Decision is better than Independence Day. Not Independence Day, Air Force One.
I was going to say, it's nothing to do with
I wanted to compare movies with similar themes.
Also, unpopular opinion: Death Proof is probably Kurt Russell's best character work.
I don't know. He was really good in the computer wore tennis shoes.
Correct. Also, he was good in Overboard.
I don't know that I ever saw Overboard.
That was a good movie.
And then wasn't there a remake with Adam Sandler?
No, it was a remake with Anna Faris. Because
Who was the
Goldie.
male cast in that though?
I will let you know. It wasn't Adam Sandler. It was
Or maybe Adam Sandler was in one called Going Overboard.
No, it was, what the hell is his name? Eugenio Derbez.
Cool. Somebody I don't having heard of ever and don't really give a fuck about. That
Same.
means.
Let's find out what the fuck he was in. Nothing I would.
What else was he
Anywho.
in? Nothing I would have watched.
Yeah.
About as expected.
What up, Icy?
Hey, Icy, what's up?
Look at you with your star next to your name. All subbed in shit.
Jinx.
Never buy you a Coke.
Look, if you're buying me Coke, it better come in a bag with a straw.
And you can do your best fucking Scarface impression.
No, there are places in the world where when you get served soda, it's in a bag with a straw sticking out of it.
What do we mean, Canada? Oh, that's only
that's
milk. Sorry. Dude, all I'm saying is bagged milk kind of makes sense.
I mean... Yeah, but the little kids don't get the pleasure of...
Also, I want to point out, Icy has, like, shoe game for days, too. So, my guy.
Icy, you want to talk about shoe game? I have a couple pairs of Chucks that even impressed Chris.
As you see my fucking wall of Jordans.
Dude, I used to have 12 pairs of Chucks that were all different colors. You want me to... I don't know where they're at right now, but I have a leather pair and I have a gray, black, and red pair.
Dude, fucking talking to Icy the other day, like he was rocking those Shadow ones.
Oh!
Fucking my guy.
And... Okay, so I'm gonna until our merch store gets fixed, because I need someone to help me with that. I also have my own shoes.
Yeah, Dave designed his own like Converse style.
I have my own Converse style. I have my own Chuck Taylor style shoes that I sell in my merch store that are honestly pretty fucking sick. Like, as soon as I have the money, I'm buying myself a pair. And I hate wearing shoes.
Also, same show. Also promised that this is totally water in this cup.
Yeah, sure it is.
So, yeah. Dave told me today that I need to calm down before shows, because I'm the type of person that's like a nervous wreck.
Dude, he gets so stressed about dumb shit.
And Dave goes, have a fucking drink, or 2, or 3. I don't care. Just chill out. But, like, this is what happens when you're close friends with someone. You can tell that person that, and it not, like, be a dick thing to say.
Yeah, dude, you're too high-strung. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah. It'd be like
and
the same.
Clean up the goddamn oceans, okay?
That was a thing, too. Oh, if you know, you know.
And if you don't know,
anywho,
watch the rest of our shows like a good person.
Fucking for real. Anywho, we were talking about Thor.
Okay, so Thor gets back in shape. He's super weird and clingy with the Guardians, and then he leaves.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fucking okay. So my favorite character in the whole movie is overly obsessed Stormbreaker.
Dude, I love that Stormbreaker's sentient in the movie.
It's so dumb, but absolutely perfect.
Oh, it's great.
Absolutely perfect. And then we have oh, that's why I had a notification there. We went live. I'm so dumb. I'm so fucking dumb. But no, it's been interesting, to say the least. Thor. We meet Gore the God Butcher, who has the Necrosword. Not all black, the Necrosword. The Necrosword. We're not getting Null.
Right.
We're not getting Null. We'll go into more of that later. Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, though, is so everything that I want in a villain. And after seeing Christian Bale play Gore the God Butcher, I'm like, you know what? I get it. I'm here for it. I wish he had played the Joker instead of Batman. Because there's a lot of similarities in, like, mannerism and demeanor that would, like, just be directly transferable. Valkyrie's back. They find out there's some fucked up shit going on. That's why Thor splits off from the Guardians, meets up with Sif, finds out about Gore, goes to New Asgard.
Can we talk about the fact that fucking Sif's still alive?
Well, yeah, she wasn't available for filming for the last movie, so they didn't get a chance to kill her off.
They didn't get to kill her off, yeah.
Like they did the Warriors 3. So it's just Lady Sif, no entourage.
Missing a fucking arm, too.
Yeah, she had an arm chopped off. It was dope. No, and then Jane feels like she calls Mjolnir to her. An important thing happened. When we're finding out the story of what happened between Jane and Thor, Thor spoke to his hammer and modified the enchantment. Which says one thing for sure. Thor has now proven full access to the Odin Force.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you could modify that enchantment. Is if you could use the magic that created it. And they use the term modify the enchantment. Like, that's how it's basically phrased in the movie. So, because of that, Jane is running around with Mjolnir, who put itself back to fucking together to chill out with her. It's so good. And then the scene where they meet the enemies, like, everything's so good. And then we get near the end of the movie. So what had happened is Gore's daughter died of dehydration.
Yes.
Opening scene of the movie, by the way.
Literally.
The opening scene of this movie is a child dying.
Dude, the movie's, like, it's intense as shit to start off. Like, sorry, I'm trying to manage Discord shit at the same time.
Oh no, you're all good. But that kind of pushes Gore over the edge. He goes on his hero's journey.
Also, I want to point out that people made a big deal about him not looking comic accurate. Personally, as someone who read the comics, I don't give a fuck that Gore doesn't look comic accurate. Christian Bale looks scary as shit.
Well, and other than he has a nose, he does look comic accurate.
Besides this little, like,
right,
Ahsoka Tano things.
Right.
But yeah, it looks
and the thing is, if they'd gotten rid of his nose, he would have looked too much like Voldemort.
Right, which is, you know, kind of, that's already been done.
Can we get a Richard Fiennes Magneto, though?
Dude, I fuck with that idea. Oh! There's more news on...
With a Richard Fiennes Magneto with a Hugh Laurie Professor X.
Do you know who has been talking about getting spoken to about being Magneto?
Who?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Is it John or Juan?
It's Giancarlo.
Who is that? Send me a link.
Did you play the new Far Cry game? He's the bad guy. He's also in the Mandalorian and like
The new dude, I played Far Cry 5 and then swore off Far Cry.
yeah. He was in Breaking Bad.
Never
He's
watched
been in
it.
a bunch of shit. All right, let me find his IMDb and I'll send you.
Just send me a picture in Showtime. I don't know how much of a fan I am of that though, because a huge portion of Magneto's backstory is that he is a Jewish person and a survivor of World War II.
True. All right, I posted it in Showtime.
Oh, okay, yeah. He
I mentioned the Mandalorian. Forgetting seen the Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, I don't watch Star Wars stuff anymore. Disney ruined it, and then fuck off.
Yeah, he's been.
You know what? I could see it though. I could see it.
He's been in fucking everything. He was in The Boys.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
yeah, I need to
I would
watch
say-
seasons 2 and 3 of that.
yeah, I need to watch the newest season. I completely didn't even see it.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. No, I could see that.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Same.
So they decide that they're going to go to Omnipotence City.
Yes.
To try to recruit some of the other gods. We have Zeus played by
Fucking Russell Crowe.
Yeah, it's
and it was
doing
great.
a passable Greek accent even.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Russell Crowe
For being an Australian man doing a Greek accent.
Yeah, playing a Greek.
No, he does a really good job. That whole scene is amazing. I'm trying not to give too much away if people haven't seen it, right? But that all goes bad. They steal Zeus's thunderbolt.
By the way, he's from New Zealand, not Australia.
Oh. I apologize, Mr. Crow.
Yes. Don't ever call a Kiwi an Aussie, they get upset.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. And then we get to the last showdown, and
first off, we get
I figured out. Hang on. So you know the the 6-eye guy, the Celestial. That we see the statue of that the head falls off near the end of the movie. That's the celestial form of the one above all. I did some looking into it.
Oh shit. So am I right and the Eternals are gonna play a bigger part than we thought they were?
No.
I'll just go fuck myself then.
No, it was just a nod to the one above all, who in the comics was always illustrated as looking like Jack Kirby or Stan Lee. So I think that's our fill-in Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, probably. I love the final. We finally get a Chris Hemsworth ass shot.
That whole scene was like parts of it felt really forced.
Oh yeah. As he flicks all his clothes off, and you got Jane sitting there. Should we help him? If Valkyrie sitting there with the pop or eating grapes, she goes, "Eventually, grape." Yeah. I love the comedic timing of that. Tessa Thompson is great as Valkyrie. Oh. That was one of the best castings that they could have done. She's great in everything else, but goddamn, she's great.
I love her. Honestly, I hope that they pick her up as a mentor for the Young Avengers. We'll get into that. Young Avengers hasn't been officially announced, but
it's fucking coming, obviously.
2 years ago, I told you guys that they were going to do the Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Thunderbolts were the Dark Avengers. Similar teams, similar stuff. And I told you that we were going to get Secret Wars.
Right.
We're getting the Thunderbolts and Secret Wars. So, like, for little stuff, I miss the mark a lot. For big stuff, I'm usually pretty close.
I'm also not sold on Kang being the all out big bad.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that too, but we have to finish Thor first
Yes, let's get to
because there's a
Thor.
lot of stuff to get through.
Also, Jane is comic book accurate when she becomes Thor,
The Mighty Thor.
the mighty Thor. Is comic book accurate. She has cancer in the comics, also in the movie. And Mjolnir helps her feel like herself, but it's later revealed that it's draining her life,
Right.
which is how the comics went. So I like that we're getting more of a comic accurate film, which is important. I feel like that is something super important that we should be getting.
But it's less important than making sure the story is good.
Yeah, it's
Because
appeasing to us
Disney has
nerds.
always prioritized quality of story over comic book accuracy.
Right.
That being said, so at the end of the movie, they defeat Gore. Gore gets his wish, right? So the whole premise of the movie is he's trying to make it to eternity, so eternity can grant him a wish.
Right, which isn't this, and this movie is not the first time we see the Living Tribunal.
No, we saw him in
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness.
And I believe a small piece in the Eternals.
And in Loki.
And in Loki, correct.
Because I'm pretty sure we see it in Loki as well.
Yeah.
But no, my guy. Okay, so we get to the end. Instead of wishing for the death of all of the gods, Thor, because Thor is selfless and cares about Jane, Gore is moved and wishes his daughter back to life on the condition that Thor takes care of her.
Yes. Which I love that story arc in the comics, though.
And they call her Love.
Yes.
Child of Eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Love is one of the esoteric beings of the Marvel Universe, like Eternity and Infinity and Death. So we have like a superpowered toddler. She's not a toddler. Played by
Chris Hemsworth's daughter.
Hemsworth's daughter. And
His
she
youngest.
does a really good job.
Yeah.
And the scenes at the end of the movie they're in is adorable. You need to watch this fucking movie.
I believe he has 3 children, and she is.
And 2 of them are in this movie.
Yeah, 2 of them are in the movie.
Because one of them plays in the scene where all the kids fight. We meet fucking Axel, Heimdall's son.
Yes.
Dude, Axel's a badass. I'm
Yeah,
here
he
for Axel being on the Young Avengers.
Oh, same.
I don't think it was planned. I think they're gonna do it now, though.
Well, because Heimdall ended up becoming a really important part of the Thor films. More than
not only that,
expected.
but with as well as that kid played Axel, he didn't once look at a camera.
No. Like a fucking badass.
Like a G.
Astrid. Your father gave you a warrior's name. Astrid. It's Axel. Call him Axel.
Yeah, he renamed himself after Axl Rose.
Axl Rose. Which is like
Kid's metal as fuck, and I totally see him fitting in with the rest of the Young Avengers.
Well, dude, the soundtrack of Thor Love and Thunder was basically Guns N' Roses' greatest hits.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Like, I like Guns N' Roses as much as the next guy, but yeah, it was literally just the greatest hits of Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child of Mine. I'm pretty sure Don't You Cry was played at one point.
We do lose Jane in the end, and it's sad.
Yes.
But expected. Like, people who know the comic storyline, it's expected.
It was coming.
At the end of the Mighty Thor story arc, Jane dies. The Mighty Thor ends when the Mighty Thor ends.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Literally.
But no, it was so good. And then moving forward, And I'm going to kind of go through these in order again. So moving forward, so Thor Love and Thunder was good. It set up a lot of stuff and basically just reaffirmed some of the stuff I had already expected, except for not getting Null. But that knowledge, because they call it the Necrosword, not all black the Necrosword, which is an important distinction. That is Marvel going, it's the same sword, but we're separating it as a different entity. Because we don't want to fuck with a character that we may or may not actually have rights to.
And do they have rights to Null?
Huh?
Where else would Null have popped up, though?
Spider-Man! Because he created the symbiotes.
Fair.
Null is so intertwined in a bunch of different random shit, it would be really hard for any studio to just use him right now. Unless they made an agreement beforehand, like they did with the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Fair.
And they came to that agreement because she was very heavily involved in a lot of Avengers stuff, right?
Right.
So the next thing we're gonna get, the end of Phase 4, and I'm gonna talk about movies. We're gonna ignore TV shows for the most part right now.
Right.
We're getting
Even though they do mostly tie in, but right now the film stuff is going to be a little more important.
Well, especially since moving forward, we don't know how the TV shows are going to tie into the films.
Correct.
Because you don't really know that till you see the TV shows.
Right.
Wakanda Forever's coming up. It releases in a month and a day.
No, November. So
or 2 months in a day. November 11th.
Yep. And that's it for movies in Phase 4, though.
Yeah, that's the end of Phase 4. Wakanda Forever looks good. I'm calling my shot. We're getting Killmonger back.
Yeah, that's Dave and I both agreed that makes the most.
Chris didn't agree when I first said it, and then I walked him through why I thought so, and we're on the same page now.
But how many times did we end up watching the trailer together?
Right.
At least like 7 or 8 times before we're both like on the complete same page.
Because, well, the person wearing the suit is too big to be Shuri.
Too big to be Shuri.
It's too big to be Nakia.
And it's definitely too small to be M'Baku.
Definitely too small to be M'Baku. M'Baku is built like me. That man is a wall.
Winston Duke is built like a brick shithouse.
Winston Duke in another life is a pro NFL player.
Oh, easily. Easily.
That man is terrifying and has my favorite line in all of the original Black Panther.
Oh, I love him.
Speak again and I will feed you to my children.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. We're vegetarian. It's my favorite line in the entire movie. It's so good. But no. Outside of that, other than establishing who the new Black Panther is, and establishing the state of things in Wakanda, which I think is going to be important moving forward, we're not going to know. We're not going to get a lot of, this means this is going to happen in the future out of Wakanda Forever, right? Because they need to establish a status quo for Wakanda.
Right.
Which will affect other things, but not in, like, grand arcing ways, right?
Right.
First film of Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Which was originally scheduled for Phase 4, but since has been moved around.
Well, and it's literally, they changed where Phase 4 ends and Phase 5 starts because of pacing.
Right.
Because Phase 4 is establishing the world. We're reestablishing the world, right? We're meeting new characters, we're doing this, we're doing that, just like in Phase 1. And then in Phase 2, we start building up to the story we're going into. Same with Phase 4. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, features Kang the Conqueror as the villain.
It does.
And I don't think they beat Kang, especially since later we get a movie called Kang Dynasty, in any real tangible way. Like maybe they defeat a variant of Kang,
It's possible.
It's one of the problems with Kang, because in the comics, if you killed Kang, he would just move his consciousness to another variant of his.
Correct.
So it's going to be good. It's going to set up a lot of Kang stuff, right? But
Yep.
again, here I think we're primarily establishing character, right? Because we've seen Kang the Conqueror, but not as Kang the Conqueror. Then we get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. No fucking idea, but just like every other Guardians movie, it will have zero impact on the actual storyline. Right. Like the overarching storyline. Because they do space shit?
They do space shit.
But like the other two Guardians movies, it's probably going to be real good. What I would like to see is Peter Quill utilizing some of his, like, he has superpowers. As established in 2. I would like to see him use them.
Because he's technically half god.
He's half celestial. Yeah.
Yeah, he's half celestial because his father is Ego.
Right.
Which so it's different versions of the there are 2 different versions of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics. Both of them are kind of his father's a celestial.
No.
But like the more recent one,
Jason of Spartax.
Yes, the most recent one is his father is Ego. But
no,
the original,
comics, it's still Jason of Spartax. They haven't
for
changed
both of them, because from what I remember, the newer ones is his
still
father.
Jason of Spartax, because that was all established before Guardians came out, the first one.
That's true. Yeah, but they've redone the comics since the movie came out. The first one came out.
But it's still Jason of Spartax.
Is it? I'll have to reread the comics.
And the Spartans, which is what people from Spartax were called, if I remember right.
Yes.
I'll have to rewatch it, but that doesn't make sense, knowing what I know about hereditary power.
He didn't lose. Yeah, he didn't lose his powers. He just hasn't used them.
He might be pulling a Todoroki from My Hero Academia. Doesn't use his power he got from his father. His father was a dick.
His father was a dick.
But no, I'm excited to see what we get out of it. And for those who don't know, if I'm remembering correctly, the Spartans think Mandalorians,
but crazier.
Yeah, but I'm saying as far as like physical ability, they're not superhuman in the traditional sense. They are like just beyond peak physical human for their like neutral state.
Yes.
But they're not like crazy strong or crazy fast. They're just like a race of people who is just super fit.
Right.
Mostly. And that's if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a long time since I've looked at the Spartans. So moving on from Guardians, we get the Marvels, which I think is going to set some stuff up. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of thinking since Ms. Marvel. I know what the bracelet is.
What is the bracelet?
It's a Negaband, which always come in pairs.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, well, it does. I mean, we all assumed that it was going to be some sort of Kree tech, but that makes a lot of.
And the Negabands, there are multiple pairs of Negabands. They all do a little different things, but the Negabands are tied to the power of the Negative Zone. Doom fucked with Negabands at one point. We're going to talk a lot about Doom here in a hot minute. But again, I think this is backtracking a little bit, and it's setting up these people to be where they need to be. So, for future parts of the story. I don't think that this is going to have a huge impact moving forward. I do think that we will start getting introduced to more Young Avengers style characters through the Marvels.
Well, and I mean, I fully believe with the Agatha show, that's where we're going to get Wanda's kids to return, which there's no other reason to give her a show other than she was a popular character.
Correct.
So
We have Blade coming, which is going to be okay. So here's my pitch for Blade. Blade
the
is a
thing with
hybrid between an origin story and a return from a fall from grace.
well, the big thing with Blade is it got pushed back again, so it literally November of 2023 now is when it was supposed to come out in the summer.
Um,
Now it's pushed all the way back to November. So
we have Captain America: New World Order. Captain America being Sam, played
Sam
by
Wilson,
Anthony Mackie. Um,
aka former Falcon.
right. So I think we're gonna see what was his name, Joaquin, the guy he gave his old suit to.
I think so.
I think we're gonna see him return as the Falcon in this movie. I think we're going to see Captain America still teamed up with his buddy Bucky,
Oh, they have to.
because that's just
They
how shit
almost have to.
goes. And I think because of where Falcon and the Winter Soldier left off, they're probably gonna dive into like conspiracy stuff in the MCU. Like,
Maybe.
well, no, because most of that show, a lot of that show revealed like secrets, like the Super Soldier program, and what was his name? The guy who spent 30 years locked up and experimented on.
Oh fuck, I can't remember his name.
He's the only thing coming into my head is Brian Braddock, and that's Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think it's going to be them delving into some of the shadier shit. New World Order is typically used. And I think it's going to be some of the shady shit regarding the Global Repatriation Council, or whatever they're called. Yeah, GRC,
Yeah.
Global Repatriation Council. New World Order is often used when talking about conspiracy stuff, or when groups are trying to restructure big things, right?
Right.
So I feel like it's going to be Captain America versus the evil people behind the GRC, right?
Yeah.
After that, we get the Thunderbolts.
We do, which Dave and I think we both were talking about before.
So
It got announced.
almost every phase ends with an Avengers movie in the first set, right?
Yes.
Phase 5 is ending with an Avengers adjacent movie. Thunderbolts is
Indeed.
the last movie from the Avengers. People I'm expecting to see: Abomination, Baron Zemo, Ghost, from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm expecting to see U.S. Agent. I'm expecting to see Black Widow.
Although you tell me you expect any other ghosts to show up in that movie? That'd be crazy.
Well, no, but for people who didn't remember, that was that character's name.
Yes.
I feel like we might get an introduction to the leader, who was teased all the way back in the original Hulk movie.
Yes. I gotta go back and watch that. I don't even know what that's on. What can I watch though?
But again, so a lot of phase 5 feels like it's establishing the status quo of the universe. This is where everything sits, right?
Right.
As we get closer and see trailers for some of these, we're obviously going to go into each of these a little more in depth. But it's phase 6 where stuff starts to get, we'll call it wild.
Right.
And bear in mind, there are other untitled movies and shit peppered into these, right?
Right, like we're still getting the MCU debut of Deadpool. There's going to be a it's labeled as a mutants centered movie, which I'm going to be labeled the
Now,
X-Men.
I am going to go back to Quantumania, which is the first episode of Phase 5. Or the first movie in Phase 5. There are a few things that are going to happen. Scott Lang's going to die. Because
Right.
Scott Lang dying in the comics is what spurred Cassie Lang to become Stature. And we see Cassie in some of the stuff they've shown as Stature.
Yeah.
Also, while Kang wasn't necessarily involved in Ant-Man's death in the comics, Ant-Man's death in the comics led to Cassie
Cassie.
becoming Stature, and she started the Young Avengers, whose
Right.
first villain was Kang the fucking Conqueror.
Right.
Also, how many of the other Young Avengers do we have? Basically all of them at this point.
We're missing Wanda's kids and
We're not missing Wanda's kids. They've been introduced. I'm talking about
Well,
characters
yeah.
introduced in the MCU.
Hulkling.
Uh-huh. Except
That's it.
he's not always called Hulkling.
True.
And sometimes he's Amadeus Cho.
Also true.
But I think they're going to pull Amadeus Cho from that to make him Red Hulk.
Which, yeah, we've discussed.
But yeah, so Stature becomes Stature. She starts kicking off the Young Avengers stuff. That's why I think Quantumania is the first in Phase 5. Because it's before the Marvels. Which, the end credit scene to the Marvels is going to be Cassie reaching out to Kamala and saying, hey, look, I have this project.
There are 2 movies coming out before the Marvels.
Yeah, one of them's Guardians, which isn't going to have
One-
anything to do with the Marvels. Other
No,
than
but
an
I'm just
end
saying.
credit scene where the Guardians bump into Kamala, probably.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there into the ether that there are 2 movies that are going to come before the Marvels.
Nope. Calling my shot right now. Somebody clip this. And we'll check later. The end credit scene for Guardians of the Galaxy won't feature any of the Guardians, but it will show Photon. Because we haven't seen her since WandaVision. So they're going to do that to remind people that that character exists. Before she appears in... Hang on a second, I'm getting a phone call. Just a moment, I apologize.
Okay.
So I got a call from somebody trying to convince me to use their service to get my back taxes back. Or whatever. And I'm like, hang on. I can't even understand you. And then the guy on the phone says, great, let me transfer you to our supervisor. What the fuck just happened?
I don't know.
Anyway. Okay. Moving on, we get the Marvels. Blade, Captain America, Thunderbolts. We're back at Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts is probably going to be them losing terribly to Kang.
Yeah. But again, I feel like Kang is still not going to be the overarching bad.
We're getting there.
Through this.
We're getting there.
Because I have a thought on who I think it's going to be, but
I do too. So the start of Phase 6, Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is going to be the Fantastic Four having some sort of issue with Doom, and they butt heads, they resolve it because there's some other entity, maybe Kang, maybe not. If it's not Kang, the end credit scene will be Doom and Richards realizing together that Kang is a threat and deciding to work on a solution.
Right.
If Kang is the threat in the movie, they put aside their differences to work on a solution.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, Fantastic Four is just setting up a partnership between Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we get Avengers, Kang Dynasty. Which post-credit scene of Thor?
Hmm?
I don't remember what it
What's
was because it all just gets included as
it's
part of the movie to me.
it's Hercules.
Oh yeah.
It's the introduction to Hercules.
If I remember right, Hercules dates one of the Young Avengers.
Hmm.
But the Young
Also,
Avengers are older when that happens. I think it's Billy.
also,
Doesn't he
I don't
date
know if you
Billy?
guys. I don't know, but I don't know if you guys
Was
know this.
Billy and Hercules Billy and Hercules might have been the first non-traditional relationship in Marvel Comics.
Maybe.
Hey,
I don't
Wookie,
know,
what's up?
but I don't know if you guys know this. So, dude, can you like fucking not for 5 seconds? My goddamn cat wants to be everywhere I am. Um. So Disney has greenlit
I
a
told
live
you
action
about this.
Hercules.
I
Yeah,
told you
you
about
did.
this, Chris.
You did. And it makes the most sense. Or it doesn't make the most sense, but it makes sense for this is some Disney shit that they would do.
And
They
because of
green
casting.
Yes. Um the Yeah, Disney has greenlit a live action adaptation of Hercules. The gentleman casted has theater background and I believe is the same
It is
person
the same
casted
person who they cast as Hercules in the MCU.
as Hercules in the MCU. So we could get this weird ass Disney backstory that's also MCU.
I'm here for it though.
Dude, same, because
Because
that's
the
some
story of
Disney shit that I
Hercules
fuck
in
with.
the show is just telling Hercules from mythology, basically.
Yeah.
With some minor alterations.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking here for it.
I'm so here for it. Like, I'm here for the Frankenstein backstory.
So we get to Kang Dynasty. Okay. Kang Dynasty is the second to last film. And there's going to be X-Men films and mutant films, and there's going to be Young Avengers film in here somewhere, guaranteed. Before Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So, Kang Dynasty is going to be Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom teaming up with other smart people, whoever's left.
Whoever's left.
Well, like Stark's dead, so Banner,
Riri.
Shuri,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Whoever. There's going to be a cabal of smart people
that's a good way to put it.
working on a way to make Kang knock the fuck off, right? Spearheaded by Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom. Victor Von Doom is going to work a backdoor into it that when they sap the power from Kang, he takes it. Because tell me that's not some Doom shit.
It really is.
That is 110% some Doom shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we move on to Secret Wars. I think they're going to be following the 2015 story arc where Doom is the God Emperor Doom of Battle World. That all comes about because in the end credits scene, okay, so Doom takes Kang's power near the end of the movie. Doom can't control Kang's power. Incursion starts. Near the end of the movie, post-credit scene of Doom trying to put the pieces together. We go to Secret Wars. We have God Emperor Doom, who's figured out how to control the power, but the incursion has already started. And we get Secret Wars a la the 2015 series. Kang is a good way to introduce Doom, who, in my opinion, has always been far scarier than Kang.
You know what's funny?
What?
Now, and this is no bullshit, like, for the stream, Dave and I have straight up not talked about this. Literally 3 days ago, I was, like, straight up just thinking about, like, all right, like, the Null series, like, the Null story arc doesn't make sense. It's a good story to tell if Marvel and Sony or whoever owns the rights to Null figure this out. But I came to the conclusion that I felt like Doom was the best big bad for not only this version of the story, but for like the films in general.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you and I have come to the same conclusion without even fucking discussing it right now is insane. Like Doom is exactly who I thought, and it started with Battle World, and knowing the incursions coming, and
Because you
like
can't have
Kang's
Kang running Battle World. You can't.
no, it doesn't make sense.
Kang
It
wouldn't
doesn't
let
make
that
sense
happen. Every
Yeah,
version
number
of Kang it actively prevents shit like that from happening.
right. Well, that's why I moved past, and I know so many comic book fans are like, "Oh, it's Kang. It's 100%." No, it's not going to be Kang as the next Thanos style villain. It's just not happening. Because Kang's not that big of a villain.
It's going to be Doom who's going to be pulling strings all through Phase 6 behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because how many characters in the Marvel universe in the comics does Kang interact, or not Kang, Doom interact with?
All of them.
Almost fucking all of them. Yeah. Almost all of them, if not all of them.
No, all of them.
Yeah, what about Kang? Not all of them.
No, Doom interacts with Kang.
No, but like Kang is not interacting with all of the characters.
Oh, no, he primarily fucks with the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the Young Avengers, and Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange. But that's it. But you see where I'm getting at, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially in beforehand, like the reason Thanos was the bad guy, Thanos interacted with all of the Marvel characters before the Infinity War comics even came out.
Yeah.
That's why, like, and the only other one that would be close to that is Null. But obviously, I don't think we.
Yeah,
can
because
do
Null
the
is
Null
so
storyline
intertwined in
with
everything.
everything.
Now.
Yeah. So the only
which
one
is
that
why I
actually
had
makes
him
sense
pegged
is
for a Thanos style villain.
Well, and it made sense, and that story would have been great.
But
if
they
you're
called
right
it the
about-
Necrosword, not all black the Necrosword. So
Right.
that's Marvel going out of their way to say this is the same but different.
Right. And especially knowing the fact that we're going to see Black Knight introduced as like his own thing, and
I feel like we're going to see Black Knight and Blade.
right,
Just
but
because
what
of the
about Moon Knight?
Eternals end scene.
Also, they're teasing Moon Knight season 2.
Well, duh. Moon Knight was so good.
I was so
Okay, of the MCU shows, okay, and they've all been amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite is a toss-up between Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight.
agreed.
And I loved WandaVision.
WandaVision was great. So was Loki.
Fabulous. Loki was
Hawkeye was great, too.
fabulous. But there's just...
It's different storytelling from Moon Knight and Miss Marvel.
Yeah. Well, because they're
Totally
more
different storytelling.
relatable.
Right.
Like, as people, than Loki is, or than Wanda is. Right? I didn't grow up like Loki. I didn't grow up like Wanda.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't necessarily grow up like Kamala, but I'm familiar with that upbringing, right? I'm
Same.
familiar with that culture.
Same.
And there are a lot of similarities between that culture and other cultures, regardless of whether people choose to believe it or not. But, and huge shout out, they've been handling some really, like, hard topics in very tasteful ways, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. And
Right.
that's a testament to Marvel's ability to storytell and cast and write.
Right. But
Yeah.
like because Kamala is a Muslim American. The mosque they attend is heavily featured in the show.
Oh yeah. And it's a very important part of story arc.
I love the Sheik.
Oh, he's so great.
He's
so great.
And he's exactly what you expect out of a mentor character. And agree with me or don't agree with me, whether you're religious or not, if you interact with a religious figurehead like a pastor, a sheik, a rabbi, they should have that, like, mentor mentality, right?
Yeah.
They want to help you be the best you. And I love it when those characters, when those roles are portrayed like that, because that's how it should be.
Yeah. and I can never remember the actor's name, but he again did a fantastic job with that role.
They all did.
Oh yeah.
I thought the kid who played Kamran was great. Oh,
Yes.
that's the one I'm missing from Thunderbolts. They're going to recruit Kamran.
Oh, it makes sense.
Doesn't happen in the comics. I don't know if Kamran exists the way he does in the MCU in the comics.
I don't believe he does. No, I think he does.
But
I have to reread the Miss Marvel comics.
As an antithesis to Miss Marvel, recruiting Kamran to the Thunderbolts makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. And even if I'm way wrong, which I'm wrong from time to time, and I can admit when I'm wrong. But even if I'm wrong, I'm excited to see what's coming. And part of me hopes I'm wrong about a lot of this. Because I like to be surprised.
Right.
But, like, as a creative person, this is, with what they've given us, this is the path as I see it that makes the most sense from a story perspective.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but again, like, seeing the direction that Marvel is starting to go, they're starting to go a lot more comic book heavy, and you only have so much source material to pull from the comics to line up with what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, but to be fair, Love and Thunder has a few elements that are pulled from comic storylines here and there, and it combines a couple. But it is a unique story all of its own, and the ending is, like, there's nothing to pull from.
Right.
And I'm okay with that, too. I mean, the MCU has been established as its own comic universe. So if they want to write new stories and change stories...
itself, you know?
Right. But, like, if they want to write new stories and change stories up and change stories around, I'm okay with that as long as they do it well.
Yeah.
Which, to this point, they have.
Oh, yeah. I love that. What did we discuss? Was it last show that Thor: The Dark World is considered the worst Marvel movie, and it's still a fantastic film.
It's still a really good movie. It's just compared to the rest of the Marvel movies, it's
not as good.
Cardboard tier.
Yeah. Which is saying something, you know.
Yeah, when a cardboard tier movie in your franchise is a pretty good movie in any other franchise, or a stellar movie in your biggest competitor's franchise. Because I will watch Thor: The Dark World before I watch any DCEU movie again, save Wonder Woman.
When your quote-unquote worst MCU film in the box office made $644.8 million, like, I'd say that's still a solid film.
Oh, yeah. But they realized they had a misstep with the first Thor and how they did some of the stuff, so they overcorrected. And then they just handed it to Taika Waititi and go, make something that people actually like, please. And he went,
yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah.
My name's Korg. I'm made of rocks. You don't have to be worried unless you're
made of scissors. That's a little rock paper scissors joke. There's a reason I have a Korg pop figure.
I love Taika Waititi. He was amazing in Ready Player One also.
Oh, Taika Waititi's great.
Not Ready Player One.
He wasn't in Ready Player One.
Free Guy.
Free Guy. Yeah. Dude, could you imagine if he was in Ready Player One, though?
I've never seen Ready Player One.
We need to change that. We're going to change that at some point soon. But yeah, I mean, fuck, there's so much to look forward to. I mean, obviously with She-Hulk coming out, 8 days from now? And then the release of I Am Groot, like, we're really... 11th. Oh, yeah, no, dude. Oh, yeah. No, I agree, Wookie. And Dave and I have talked about Our Flag Means Death forever since we started watching it, just knowing Taika Waititi's abilities and everything.
Oh, yeah. And the Thor Love and Thunder is...
It's
like I said
film.
at the beginning of talking about Love and Thunder, anybody who doesn't like this movie is wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in, hey, how you feel about a thing is how you feel about it. But if you didn't like the movie, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Like, The movie is objectively good.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna. A normal person should not disagree.
We are getting a Deadpool 3 that's been confirmed.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da.
And well, the
There
cool
has
thing,
been an official announcement that Shang-Chi 2 is in the works.
yes, that is in pre-production. They have a writer and they have a director. They're gonna have the same director. I can't remember the director's name from the first one, but directing the second one, a new writer, but that is in pre-production.
Spider-Man 4
That's also in
is officially on the docket.
with not Toby Maguire, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So there's
apparently the Spider-Verse films are all MCU now.
No, they're not.
From what I heard, they are tied into the MCU.
Except they are not.
It would make sense if they confirmed
it. Would make sense if they did, but I read an article
Because
somewhere where Kevin Feige directly said that the Into the Spider-Verse movie is in no way related to the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We are 100% going to get Miles Morales in the MCU, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming. Very soon. Very soon.
I don't know about very soon. We'll probably see it in Phase 6. Secret Wars is when it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see Miles. It's fair, Wookiee.
So
I mean, the same can be said because Deadpool 1 and 2 are on Disney Plus and they're not MCU.
Yes, they are.
When did that
Because
change?
they're making... No. They're making a direct sequel to Deadpool 1 and 2 called Deadpool 3 with whatever title they attach to it. That is an MCU film.
Just call it a Deadpool 3. I wonder if that'll come out after Secret Wars.
We have zero timeline information. All we know is that it's been confirmed and it's in development, but we don't know what stage.
Yeah.
But yes. How they're canon, no idea. But we do know that they're canon because we know Deadpool is related. And I'm assuming that there's going to be some fuckery that explains it. Oh, yeah. Lots of people wanted that.
But
it also feels kind of like an irreverent move. And I think they didn't want people to think that they were just being,
dicks, yeah.
So I get it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I get it. And with stuff like that, sometimes you just have to play it really close to the chest,
Right.
Do any of you have any questions about Marvel stuff before we move on? Any questions for us? Any input you'd like to give? A big part of this show and a big part of like brainstorming the future of like stuff where we're just basically guessing is community involvement.
100%.
In my opinion.
And like Dave and I don't know everything. We just
So Chris saw I Am Groot. I have not seen I Am Groot. We're gonna talk about it next week.
But I will say, without giving anything away, just fucking watch it. Just watch it.
With the exception of Hercules, they won't.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter.
I don't think they no longer matter.
Yeah, we saw the extent of what the Greek gods are their like importance. That's all we saw in Love and Thunder. That was it. And there's a reason for that, because in the main like story arc, for the most part, the Greek gods never really show up except for Hercules.
And occasionally Hades.
Yeah, but that's about it, And
although Hades isn't called Hades, he's called Mephisto.
Yeah, and you can't really sell Mephisto anywhere. I mean, AK.
So Ares is weird because Ares is also Mars.
Mm-hmm.
From the Roman in mythology, they're the same. They're not the same guy in the mythologies. They're different dudes, but they're the same guy.
In Marvel world, it's the same.
And in Marvel, it's the exact same guy. And I believe Ares is also known by another name. But there's a thing like the Spirit of Vengeance, and whoever it possesses is Ares / he is the god of war.
I'll put it to you this way, gamer. You're going to see more out of Star Fox in the MCU than you are from most of the Greek.
And I don't think we're going to see much of him. I
Exactly.
think the Eternals didn't do well enough for them to do anything else with the property, and they're just going to leave that as a hanger.
No, I feel like they're gonna, because he's already signed on to do, I think, another 2 films. They've locked Harry Styles down to actually do some shit in the MCU.
Oh yeah, but it's going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Marvels.
Right.
Those are the other 2. I'm going to call it now. They're not going to bring the Eternals back.
Star Fox himself does actually matter in a lot of big story arcs.
Oh yeah, well, the next Guardians, in the next Guardians movie, they're supposed to be introducing Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock is already, he's casted. Oh my god, what's his?
I want to see a Keanu Reeves Adam Warlock.
Yeah. Will Poulter.
Oh, okay.
He's been in a bunch of shit. He was in We Are the Millers, Blade Runner, Maze Runner.
Yeah. Moving on, we're going to talk about some games that released recently.
Oh, we have some other TV and movie news.
Oh, do we?
We do.
What did I miss?
For those of you Predator fans like myself, Hulu released the other day Prey, which is a prequel to the Predator film series. I have not watched it yet. I'm going to watch it tonight for sure. I heard it was great. Speaking of more Hulu originals, season 3 of The Orville just wrapped up. There is 50-50 on whether or not that's going to get picked up for a 4th season or not. It's strictly due to budget issues. Nothing to do with storyline. If you guys watch The Orville, you understand why I'm obsessed with it. If not, definitely check it out. Also, like I said at the beginning of the show, August 24th, my favorite TV show returns. Archer will be back for season 13 on FXX, which will simultaneously be followed up the next day by posting on Hulu. I'm super excited. Obviously,
you saying you don't have Paramount is in relation to what? Gamer.
Yeah, Paramount. There's nothing that I've mentioned on Paramount.
Yeah, this is all on Hulu.
It's all on Hulu. But I'm excited. I'm interested to see what they do with the passing of 2 of the voice actors, and the way they ended the season 12. I'm excited to see where they take the story. If you guys have never watched,
you're all good.
You need to watch it. Need to watch Archer. It is a fantastic animated adult. It's like an animated adult style show. I'm obsessed. I've watched the series probably 40 times over. But August 24th, super excited. FXX. Even if you guys don't have that, next day it'll be on Hulu. Check it out. H. John Benjamin. If you watch Bob's Burgers, same guy that does the voice. Guy's a genius. Love him. So
I will say, for those of you who have wondered why Chris is such a bad person, it's because
Archer's
of his
my
love
favorite
of Archer.
Show. Yeah, Archer's my favorite show because I'm a psycho.
Obviously, I'm good-natured ribbing.
Obviously.
I don't think you're a bad person. Often.
I mean, there. Yeah, we have some video game news, correct?
Yeah. So I'm going to go over some stuff and then we're going to talk about it. Welcome to video games that came out this week. There were a few. They all seem kind of interesting. First one I want to talk about is Hindsight. Came out on August 4th. Released on the Switch, PC, iOS. Which is a really weird combination of devices to release a game on. You're going to release a game on Switch, but not Xbox or PlayStation. And on PC, and on iOS, but not Android. Developed by Joel McDonald and or Team Hindsight. I got different information depending on where I looked. Publisher is Annapurna Interactive. It is an adventure game. So I'm going to give Steam prices and the Steam descriptions for all of these games. So it says, what if the physical objects of everyday life, the possessions we hold close, were actual windows to the past, peer into distant memories and unseen futures in hindsight? It feels like psychometry, which is like you hear about the psychics who have the ability to touch a thing and know its history. It feels like it's kind of like that. Seems kind of cool. $14.99 on Switch is the regular price. It could be interesting. Next up, also having released on the 4th, Turbo Golf Racing. $17.99, released on the Xboxes, both the new one and the old one, and PC. It was not developed for any other platform, no PlayStation, no mobile. I don't know what's up with that, but it is how it is. It's 1 to 8 players, developed by Huge Cash Studios, published by Secret Mode. It is a racing game. The Steam description says, Turbo Golf Racing is an arcade-style sports racing game for up to 8 players online. Slam into oversized golf balls and race your friends in an explosive dash to the finish flag. They took Rocket League and golf and made it a racing game, apparently. Next one we're going to talk about is Recipe for Disaster, $16.99 on Steam, released August 5th. It's a one-player game developed by Dapper Penguin Studios, published by Kaseto Games. Also, if I'm pronouncing any of these wrong, I apologize. It is a simulation game. The Steam description says, Recipe for Disaster is a management sim that captures fast-paced, drama-filled environment of a professional kitchen and dining room. Build your dream restaurant, create recipes, design menus, and manage your staff, all while contending with demanding customers and disastrous situations. If you like sim games and cooking games, probably going to be up your alley. It seems pretty solid. This next one is one that I've been excited for. 2 Point Campus. I played the hell out of 2 Point Hospital. I played the hell out of Theme Hospital, which 2 Point Hospital is the spiritual successor of. Now we have 2 Point Campus, $39.99 on Steam. Released for PS5, the new Xboxes, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. Developed by 2 Point Studios, published by Sega Europe. It's a simulation game. It was released on the 9th. It is rated T for teen. The Steam description says, build the university of your dreams with 2 Point Campus. The sim with a twist from the makers of 2 Point Hospital. Build, hire staff, and run an academic institution packed with wild courses. If you like weird humor, this one's for you. Let's fucking go. And the last one on our list, released today, August 10th. It's called Lost in Play, $19.99 on Steam, released on the Switch and PC by Happy Juice Games, published by Joystick Ventures. It's an adventure game rated everyone 10+. The Steam description says, go on a feel-good adventure with a brother and sister as they explore dreamscapes and befriend magical creatures. Lost in their imagination, Toto and Galma stick together and solve puzzles to journey back home. This whimsical puzzle adventure game will make you feel like you're playing a cartoon. And it also looks really cute. That is what's been released. Let's talk about it. Hang on. We're back. Hi. So that was a pre-recorded segment. We're trying a new thing out where I pre-record the names of the games. That way I can show you box art and go over pricing. So the biggest games on that list I'm excited for are 2 Point Campus. Because like I said in the bit, I played the fuck out of 2 Point Hospital. Are you familiar with 2 Point Hospital at all, Chris?
I'm not.
Okay. So 2 Point Hospital is a game where somebody will have a disease like clown disease or something, right?
Right.
And then they'll come into your facility and you'll have to build some sort of absurd treatment for them.
Okay.
There are people who come in with light bulbs for heads. Do you know what the treatment is?
What?
You unscrew the light bulb and screw in a head. It's insanity. It's utter insanity. So it's a sim management game as if it were written by the cast of Monty Python. It's just
That's
absurd and insane and fabulous.
obnoxious, but sure.
And I'm excited for 2 Point Campus because that means that I get to do strange things to college students. Don't take that out of context. Or do.
Anyway,
Speaking of college students, if there are any college students going to school for broadcast media and you're looking for internship opportunities, hit me or Chris up.
because your boy went to school for broadcasting, and here I am. So, yeah,
Not making
100%.
money on the internet, just like half the other people on the platform.
That is just exactly how it goes when you have broadcasting degree.
Yeah.
So, that car, the golf car racing one.
Yeah.
So it's fucking Rocket League, but golf and racing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, so
what
I don't
it
know how to
is.
feel about that. Because, like, I like the idea and concept, but if it's as technical as Rocket League is,
That's a fucking nightmare.
yeah. Rocket League is fun to play when you're playing with people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, because I don't know
Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck I'm doing.
I love Rocket League. But
But
if you're gonna
playing
add
Rocket League with
multiple
people
things,
who are
yes.
good at Rocket League is
It's
unfun and a
demoralizing.
nightmare.
Yeah, it's demoralizing because I mean, Jesus. You mean to tell me you can make your car fly from one side of the field to the other?
And carry the ball on top of it somehow?
Yeah, what are we
The
doing?
fuck you.
Yeah, we get it. You're good.
I'm
Stop.
tired of feeling like I have the entire cast of the Rockettes dancing on my sack.
No truer words have been spoken, Dave.
So much mangled meat.
Mangled Meat. There you go. That's another good band name.
Electric typewriter.
Mm. Okay.
Electric campfire.
Electric Campfire. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Analog starship.
Boom! Analog Starship sounds dope as fuck.
Free band name for you guys. Analog starship. If you use it,
Boom.
let us know. We'll share your music.
Hell yeah, I'm in.
All I ask is 5%.
Oh, you're cheap.
Well, I have no input other than a name. I would be lucky to get 5%.
That is painfully fair.
No, and then I forgot what games were in my own fucking list. There was another one. The last one I talked about. Play Outside. Hang on. Welcome to video games that came out this week. There were a few. Everyone 10 plus. The Steam description says, go on a feel-good adventure with a brother and sister as they... So it's called Lost in Play. You're welcome. You guys get to see me do that live because I
You
was
just
a
do it
dumbass
on the
and deleted all
fly.
my notes. I'm like, I recorded
is-
it. I don't need my notes anymore. Dumbass.
Amazing.
I am also very excited for Spider-Man Remastered on PC. I didn't play the original because I don't have a fucking PlayStation. I mean, I have a
Yeah.
PS2. I don't think I can play Spider-Man on the
You still
PS2.
have a working PS2?
Yeah.
That's dope as fuck.
Oh, yeah. I still play games on it every once in a while. In fact, I have Spider-Man for the PS2.
Dude, that game was so good.
It was hot fire, but like garbage fire, hot fire. But
I
it
don't know,
was
I
okay
enjoyed it.
because it was
I
Spider-Man.
enjoyed it. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was dope back then because, you know, I was like 12, 13.
Oh, yeah, I was... Fuck, I think I was in high school. Or just out of high school.
Yeah, so Dave and I discovered our age difference to where, so Dave's 6 years older than me. So we were talking about smartphones. I was explaining to him how the first iPhone came out when I was in high school, and he was like, "Oh, I was so far out of high school when I had my first smartphone."
I had my first smartphone before the first iPhone launched.
And what was the first like smartphone? What do we classify as smartphone?
Anything you can send an email from.
So most flip phones.
No. Before smartphones, you couldn't send email from flip phones. They didn't have an internet connection.
Like the Motorola Razr and shit like.
When the Motorola Razr came out, smartphones already existed.
You sure?
Yeah, because I had my Moto Q9C when the first Razr came out.
That phone was dope. It came
I never
out
liked the Razrs, but I have these for hands.
2005. It had iTunes built in. That's insane. Wow. Shout out to Apple for being involved in everything.
Okay, so technically the first smartphone came out in 1994. It was built by IBM.
Okay.
It was called the Simon.
The Simon. Huh. The more you know.
Yeah. Also, it looks wild as fuck. But as would be expected for a smartphone from 1994. No, and then the cooking game seems like it could be a good time.
Yes.
Recipe for Disaster, I think it was called.
Mm.
It looks like it could be really fun if you're into that, like, semi-stressful, like, sim management experience. It
Right.
looks like it could be super solid.
Did you really delete all of your notes by accident?
Yeah. I did. And I didn't delete them, I just closed the window, because I never save them, because I just leave it open until I'm done with them.
Yeah.
But when I was closing other windows I didn't need, it got called.
Oh, that's rough. So,
Yeah.
that's why I have a whole ass like Microsoft Word page for all of my shit.
Oh yeah, I use Notepad.
Use Notepad.
Sometimes I use Notepad on my phone.
Oh shit, same. So, do we have anything else we want to go over before we move? music
I
shit.
do want to talk about Spider-Man.
Okay.
So I'm glad to see Sony is finally releasing stuff on other platforms.
Right.
I feel like it's too little too late.
Okay. Why?
Spider-Man was a PS4 exclusive. The PS5 has been out for how long now?
3 years? 2 years?
Year and a half, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think it's been 2
Year and
years?
a half, because
Year
it
and a
was
half.
holiday season, not this last one, but the one before.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah. So year and a half it's been out. What the fuck, guys? Like, I realize that you have exclusives so you can try to sell your own product. But when your only exclusive is a game that I'm super interested in, but not enough to buy an entire fucking console for one game.
Yeah. Just release it on PC.
Especially when I already had an Xbox. I get not wanting to release it on an Xbox, right? Release it on PC. Yeah. Don't be a dumb. Like they're losing
mean,
software sales to try to sell hardware.
right, and I mean, fuck, we see how long they held out with MLB having exclusive rights to making MLB games, and the show last year became cross-platform on everything. So like the market's there to just to do it, just do it. You don't have to sell to Xbox.
Nobody wants to buy your shitty console.
Exactly. No one cares anymore about consoles.
That's not true. They do. However,
I say as I have an Xbox One still chilling.
I was gonna say I have an Xbox One, a Wii, I have a Switch.
Yeah.
So and the
But
Switch. So the reason Nintendo can do it and PlayStation can't, right? PlayStation had exclusives like Spider-Man and baseball. Nintendo has exclusives like Mario and Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
And a million fucking other Nintendo properties.
Pokemon. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
If Mario and Zelda doesn't sell you on Nintendo, fucking Pokemon will. Xbox has exclusives like Halo and Gears of War. Like,
but you know where else you can play those?
On fucking PC. Yeah, I have every Halo game hard copy on Xbox, but I also have them all downloaded to my PC. And Nintendo is now at a point where they're releasing a lot of their games PC.
Not any of their main IP stuff, though.
No, but baby steps. We're taking baby steps.
Also, do me a favor, everybody. Go right now and tweet at Nintendo of America. Hang on, I'm gonna do it. With you.
Oh God.
At Nintendo of America. All right, so I tweeted it from my account. This is the tweet. Share mine. Tweet it yourself. I know it's not going to get trending, but we need a Legend of Zelda movie.
We do. I am fucking here for that.
All of the game franchises that have not gotten movies. They're making another Mario movie.
After the first one was so atrocious, they're gonna try it again. But we don't have a Zelda movie.
Give me a Legend of Zelda movie.
Real quick before we move on, who would you cast as Link?
I wouldn't. Link doesn't get to talk.
So you just cast some rando?
No. You cast literally no one. Link doesn't have a single line in the entire movie.
Oh, you'd make it animated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I say let James Cameron direct it fucking Avatar style, see what happens.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
And there'll be points when it looks like Link's about to say something. Like, anytime Link has input, we do like we do in the game. The character goes, or some other gesture, and then they fill in what he would have said. Yeah, I know it's a bad idea to do this right now, but if I don't, this happens.
Right. That'd be a cool callback to the games.
To have the character never speak? Yeah, it would be fabulous.
Yes. No, that's a super cool callback. So, are we ready to move on to Musician of the Week?
Do you want to do sports first? Because I know there's a lot of sports stuff to chew through.
You know, I feel like that's a good move.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot happening in the world of sports, and we're going to start off with actual team sports this time around. The Premier Lacrosse League hit Denver for Week 9 action. Start to see the playoff matchups come around and take shape. This weekend opened up with Redwoods getting their third win of the season against Cannon, 15-12. Woods faceoff man TD Erlin went off in the circle, going 19 for 28. Out of 28 faceoffs, he won 19 of them, which is insane. The guy's a stud. He's been a stud in college in the indoor. TD Erlin is the man. But Charlie Bertrand has been the secret weapon for Redwood the past few. He scored 4 goals, but Lyle Thompson on the Cannon sides, however, he continues to be the best player on the planet. He had 4 goals and 2 assists. This guy has won every award. And Lyle Thompson is the man. Amazing to watch him live. And every week he just keeps proving why he's the best. Saturday had 3 games. Chrome looked hot as they rolled over Chaos 13-9. Whipsnakes continued their dominance as they beat Archers 13-11. But the game of the weekend was without question Water Dogs winning an overtime thriller against Atlas 16-15. Connor Kelly had a big game for Water Dogs, scoring 4 goals, one of them being a 2-pointer. Here's a few stats, though. 7 goals, 4 assists. That's what Atlas players Chris Gray, Jeff Teat, and Eric combined just for this game alone. How about 20 for 29? That was what Trevor Baptiste looked like in the face-off circle for Atlas. He is regarded as the best in the world at the face-off circle, best to ever do it. The guy's a machine. I watched him 3 weeks play with a partially torn hamstring, winning face-offs on one leg. It was the craziest shit I think I've ever seen. But that's why he's the best face-off player. He's the best face-off man in the but Water Dogs have now won 5 straight, though. They started the season 0-3. They've now won 5 straight, easily making them the hottest team right now. But Fridays I can't read. Hold on. The league does move on this weekend to week 11. They're heading to Salt Lake City, Utah. Friday's matchups are Atlas and Whipsnakes. They're going to go at it, as well as Water Dogs will try to keep up their win streak against Redwoods. Saturday's games are Chaos facing Archers and Cannons play Chrome. All games will be streaming on ESPN. There will probably be a game on ESPN or ESPN2, but ESPN Plus is your go-to for all lacrosse stuff. IndyCar hit the streets of Nashville this past weekend, and it was really exciting race. Scott Dixon gets his 2nd win of the season in spectacular fashion, beating fellow Kiwi Scott McLaughlin by 0.106 seconds. It's the 4th closest finish in series history. It was crazy. Last lap, McLaughlin got a hell of a run coming into the final. If there was probably another 500 feet to the finish line, McLaughlin definitely would have gotten him. But it's crazy to think about. The most impressive part was Scott Dixon was a lap down with a damaged car on lap 29. But you fast forward 51 laps, and the nickname that my man has been given is the Iceman for obvious reasons. He got it done. The rest of the race was chaotic. As compared to last year, I believe there were 12 cautions last year. I think there were 8 cautions this season, or for this season's version. We looking at the rest of your top 10. Obviously, Scott Dixon finished 1st. Scott McLaughlin finished 2nd. Alex Pillow finished 3rd. There's more on him in a second. Alexander Rossi, who at one point was in an incident at the beginning of the race, went down, somehow came back to finish 4th. 5th was Colton Herta. Joseph Newgarden finished 6th. 7th was Felix Rosenquist. 8th was Christian Lundgaard. The rookie has been continuing to impress more throughout the season. Simon Pagenaud finished 9th, and 10th was Jack Harvey, who definitely needed to look good for Ray Hall Letterman land again. They have been struggling for sure. Scott Dixon, with this win, officially moved into 2nd all-time wins for the series with 53. He's now 14 wins behind AJ Foyt for number 1. Honestly, I believe he can do it. He's in his mid 40s, but he's driving like he's, a 22-year-old kid. But after that win, he is now 6 points behind Will Power for the lead in the championship with 3 races left. There's a reason why this guy's a 6-time champion. Next up is the final over race for the season as the series heads to Gateway for the Bomarito Automotive Group 500. Coverage begins on the 20th at 6 p.m. on USA. So we have a whole week before we get some IndyCar action. Though the one I do want to talk about that we covered at the beginning of the show is NASCAR. The NASCAR Cup Series made its only stop to Michigan International Speedway for the season this year. They did for the season this year. That doesn't make, you know what I'm trying to say. But that was for the Firekeepers Casino 400. And the craziness keeps coming this season. Kevin Harvick broke his 65 race winless streak, becoming the 15th different winner this season. Harvick led 38 laps on his way to his 5th win in the last 7 seasons, which is wild in itself. The guy's a stud at that place. That now means that there is one available spot left in the playoffs with 3 races left to go in the season. We have a strong chance of seeing more than 15 winners this year. Your top 10. Oh, I had that pulled up. Yeah. Bear with me, folks. I'm having technical difficulties. All right, so your top 10. Obviously, Kevin Harvick took the win. Bubba Wallace finished second, who was your points leader, who was your pole sitter. He is now at a string of 4 top 5s, which is a great thing to see. Obviously, that's not a team that's going to be looking to make a playoff run, but you build on something for next season. Denny Hamlin finished 3rd. 4th was Joey Logano. 5th was Ryan Blaney. Martin Truex Jr. finished 6th. Kyle Larson finished 7th. 8th was Eric Jones. 9th was Alex Bowman, which is a nice turnaround to see. His whole summer has just not gone the way he wanted. And your rounding out your top 10 was Ty Gibbs, who a couple weeks ago stepped in for an injured Kyle Busch, and we'll have more. Kurt Busch. We will have more on him in a second. But Chase Elliott continues to lead the points after 23 races, ahead of Ross Chastain by 100 points. I think it's safe to say that he's got the regular season championship wrapped up. Next up, the series hits Richmond Raceway for the Federated Sports 400. Coverage begins Sunday at 3 on USA. News broke on Sunday before the Cup race, however, that IndyCar star and 2021 SRX champion Marco Andretti will make his NASCAR debut in the Xfinity Series at the Charlotte Roval in October for Big Machine Racing. That's huge. Obviously, Marco's run the last 2 seasons of SRX. Being the grandson of Mario Andretti, he's had a lot of pressure on him his whole career. Obviously, coming in very close fashion to winning the Indianapolis. We're going to see him make his step into NASCAR, which is super exciting. I can't wait to see how well he. But speaking of the Xfinity Series, news broke today that current Xfinity star Noah Gragson will be driving the number 42 car for Petty GMS Racing in the Cup Series next season. Gragson has run a handful of Cup races this season for Colleague Racing, and has 3 wins, 11 top 5s, and 15 top 10s in the Xfinity Series this season. It sounds to me like Richard Petty and Maury Gallagher have started to shape the 2-car team that they're currently fielding into what could be a contender next season, with the also extension of Eric Jones in the 43 for next year. Also just announced a couple of hours ago, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Kurt Busch will miss another race due to concussion symptoms. Therefore, Ty Gibbs will again be tapped to drive the number 45 car. Busch, who is the 2004 Cup Series champion, will have now missed his 4th straight race after suffering concussion in a crash at qualifying at Pocono on July 24th. Only time will tell to see how much longer he's out for. There are speculations that he retires at the end of the season. I don't know. I will keep you guys updated on that. But This will be the second time this season that Michael Jordan will be, who owns 23XI Racing, who owns the 23 and 45 car of Bubba Wallace and Kurt Busch. They will be fielding a primary sponsor for the 45 car as Jordan. It'll again be branded as a sneaker. The first car was the Jordan 3. This one will be the Jordan 11. Last time that happened, Kurt won. And with how well Ty Gibbs, who knows if he can get it done in the Jordan-sponsored car at Richmond. Only time will tell, but NASCAR is getting crazy right now. Especially we're ramping up to the playoffs, the last 10 races of the season. For those that don't watch NASCAR, the last 10 races of the season, 16 driver elimination style to the end of the season. It's 3 race segments. The bottom 4 will be eliminated each 3 race segment until the last race, which the points are wiped clean, and the top 4 left will race for a championship. So you got 1 spot left and 3 races left to do it. So I think we might have a chance of not only seeing 16, but I think there's a huge chance that we could see more than that. And guys with 1 win won't make the playoffs, which the whole you win and you're in may not matter this season. I don't know. I'm excited to see it. If you guys have any questions, we have a whole thing for sports in the Discord. You guys can, ask about it. You can talk about it. But yeah, that's the NASCAR news. And I believe we're still waiting on another couple announcements in the next couple days over some silly season stuff, which I will cover next week. So Dave's over here like, that's a lot of racing.
Yeah. I told you guys at the top of the show it was wild.
There's also a chance that fucking Dale Jr. might buy a start NASCAR Cup Series next year.
There's a chance that Junior might buy a Charizard. What?
So NASCAR does a charter system.
Charter. Okay.
Yeah, there's 36 charters handed out to teams. There's 36 guaranteed starting spots in every race of the season. Dale Jr. owns an Xfinity Series team, which is it's like AAA for baseball. Like NASCAR, the Cup Series is like your major leagues. AAA would be like Xfinity. He owns a 4-car Xfinity Series team, which is top tier. He's talked about going Cup racing. Right now, charters are valued at about $20 million. He's already said he's not sure he wants to spend that right now, but there is a chance that Junior Motorsports can move up to the Cup Series rank, which would be the first time an Earnhardt has owned a team since I want to say about 2010-ish, 2011, when Dale Earnhardt Incorporated merged with a multitude of teams, which I believe all of those teams are now technically Trackhouse Racing.
Okay.
It's so confusing to follow the DEI lineage, but it'll be pretty cool to see Dale Jr. as an owner in the Cup Series. I hope it happens. There's a lot of things that are in the works that are talking about. Also confirmed for next season, there will be some sort of exhibition race with an all-electric series for NASCAR as a preseason caveat. There's not a lot of details on that. There's just some sort of racing series will have some sort of exhibition race at the preseason race for NASCAR. Don't know what that's about. I think a lot of that has to do with NASCAR be hybrid in 2025, I believe. They're discussing turning the cars into a hybrid engine.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
NASCAR's kind of keeping things under wraps right now until probably next season or the offseason, which makes sense. But yeah, that is your sports report. So, with that being said, Dave, do you want to talk about our musician of the week?
Yes. As mentioned at the top of the show, it is Stevie Wonder.
Indeed.
You have a little blurb?
I do. Our musician of the week is someone I grew up loving. Stevie Wonder has been one of the most recognizable names in the music industry, blending R&B, pop, soul, gospel, funk, and jazz. Wonder has been a staple in the industry and is one of the best-selling artists of all time, mounting over 100 records sold, 25 Grammys, an Academy Award, and has been inducted to the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame. And he was also awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Collaborating with legends like Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson, just to name a couple. It's a no-brainer that Stevie Wonder needed to be featured on the show. Dave, I guess I want to start this off with a question for you.
Okay.
Knowing Stevie's ability to combine so many different genres of how do you think he played into inspiring artists today like Bruno Mars, The Weeknd, guys like that?
So, okay. So one of the big things that Stevie Wonder did a lot is he incorporated like jazz and funk elements into what was otherwise fairly typical pop structures for the time.
Right.
It's super relevant in Superstition. It's also relevant in Sir Duke.
Yes.
Um
Isn't She Lovely also has a lot of features in that.
yeah. But it's really someone going, no, fuck that, and redefining what the genre they're making music in is to suit what they want to make. And we see a lot of that from both Bruno Mars and The Weeknd. I'm a motherfucking star boy.
He did almost a full album with Daft Punk.
Yeah. And then we have, Bruno Mars, who is very much a pop artist.
Yeah.
This shit, that's white gold, Michelle, or this shit, whatever. This one's for them good girls, them hood girls, straight masterpiece. Tell me that's not. I mean, the song is called Uptown. Oh, fuck my life.
Smack your elbow.
I need a minute. Continue.
No, but I feel like what Dave is saying is you got to look at the Bruno Mars, like, just works all of his songs. There's so many similarities between how Stevie Wonder did his thing in the 70s, 80s to what Bruno's doing now. If anything, Bruno is kind of the modern day Stevie Wonder. Because Bruno's doing shit no one else is.
All right, pause right there. Chat, I want to apologize for this interruption. Chris, we're getting you a new fucking microphone.
Why is my mic all fucked up?
It cuts out all the fucking time.
Dude, I'm speaking as loud as I possibly.
It's gotta be your microphone, right?
Yeah.
That's why you don't buy microphones with lights on them.
I like the lights. Honestly, dude, the lights stopped working. Today.
We're getting you a new microphone. Jesus Christ. I have actual upset.
I love this mic too, man.
I don't. It's always smiling at me like a dick.
Why is it always so fucking happy, bro?
Fucking be sad once in a while, man. It's an unrealistic standard
when
you're putting me to.
It turns red.
No, it's not just you. It's everyone. And it's annoying. And we're getting Chris a new microphone.
It's so, like, yes, when I talk quiet, I can understand why it would cut out, but if I'm talking at full volume, and I'm an Italian from the Northeast, I'm loud as fuck. And if it's still cutting out...
It's true, he is from the Northeast.
Okay.
And loud as fuck.
Yeah, I'm also definitely Italian. If you guys go watch the vlog we posted on LTN Media, you can go on the LTN Media YouTube channel. You can see my father, who straight up a. So,
Look, until I
but
see a
again,
23andMe, I can't speak to it.
dude, I kind of want to do it just to see.
I don't, because, dude, we've traced my heritage back to the 1300s on multiple
Jesus
branches.
Christ. Because my dad always called me a Heinz 57 kid. So, but no, like, yeah, dude.
I am descended from royalty.
Ooh.
To be fair,
My
anybody who can trace their lineage back that far is probably descended from royalty or nobility in some form or fashion, because those
The
are the
name-
only people who kept those kinds of records back then.
The name Chris is Algonquin for blood sport. It's not
The name
Algonquin for
David is
anything.
Hebrew for beloved. Mine's the
Um,
real fact, though.
Yeah, mine is just bullshit. I was named after a Winnie the Pooh character, but you know, what are you gonna do? It fucking be like that.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, any woman you've ever met named Wendy is named after Wendy from Peter Pan,
Yeah, most likely.
because that name was invented for that book.
Yeah,
The name Wendy
That's-
didn't exist before Peter Pan was released.
that's wild. What were we talking about again? Oh, Stevie Wonder. Dave, you play a little bit of the keys, right? You fuck around with the piano.
A little bit.
Hey, you ever close your eyes, try to play it?
When I played music, I usually have my eyes closed.
So you understand how hard it was for Stevie Wonder. Oh, by the way, he was blind.
Yeah.
And wrote music.
Yeah.
Not only wrote piano parts, but wrote lyrics. The difficulty in that is mind blowing. Obviously, we know the story of Ray Charles. Here's a real question, though. Do you think Stevie Wonder is more influential than Ray Charles was?
Yeah, by kind
Why?
of a lot.
Why?
Well, because we're talking about him before we're talking about Ray Charles, and we're not even going to have Ray Charles as a musician of the week. It's not going to happen. Right? When you think of Ray
Right.
Charles, name a Ray Charles song right now. Do it.
I can't.
Neither can I. You know why?
Why?
None of them really mattered that much. Like in the grand scheme of music history. And he's a very accomplished man and very talented.
But I bet you can name at least 4 or 5 Stevie Wonder songs.
I can name 2.
Oh, okay, so I can name about like
Plus the one you mentioned that I don't remember
that I
what
can
it was
think
called.
of right off the head.
I
Well,
can think of other songs that I've heard of
Wookie,
his, but I
that
don't
wasn't
know their
written by
titles.
Ray Charles, though.
What?
Hit the Road Jack. I don't believe that was written by Ray Charles.
What? I know he did it, but I thought it. Let me.
Yeah, I
look it
don't
up.
think he didn't write that.
Percy Mayfield wrote "Hit the Road
Yeah.
Jack."
Yeah. He did a version of it, but he didn't write that song. But that's literally what we're talking about here.
Apparently, Percy Mayfield wrote a lot of the songs Ray Charles performed.
Interesting.
No. It's not his version. Ray Charles's version is Percy Mayfield's version. Ray Charles didn't
Yeah.
write it.
Right.
Ray Charles
But
had
again-
people writing stuff for him.
Can you name a song besides that? Can you name another song by Ray Charles? Is kind of our point.
And Hit the Road Jack, okay? So that's a song that everybody's heard by Ray Charles.
Yeah.
How did that influence music culture? That's the other big thing, right?
Exactly.
And I'm not saying he's a bad artist, you know,
Right.
but
Yeah.
like this is about people who impacted music in like music culture. That's why we featured guys like Tom Morello and Dave Grohl and
Well, we had Taylor Hawkins, we had Mike Shinoda
Right. Like these are people who did things
that
different.
changed music.
Yeah.
And Dave, why did Stevie Wonder change music as opposed to not just being another blind pianist?
Another.
I mean, Ray
Like Def
Charles was
Leppard's
all
one armed drummer. Um,
right.
which
To
is
be fair,
also
he started with
impressive as
two.
fuck.
He started with 2 arms.
He did. He did.
I love Def Leppard.
Dude, can you imagine relearning how to play an instrument with one arm?
A lot of it was pedals.
Yeah.
But to relearn the entire instrument together, it's fucking crazy. But what set
so like
Stevie
I said
apart?
before, Stevie Wonder it stepped out of what was the like normal comfort zone area for popular music at the time.
Right.
And he incorporated new elements of it, and we still see waves from that today. And like you mentioned, Bruno Mars is a great example. I don't think we would have got Bruno Mars without a Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
You remember that feeling I told you I was having earlier?
Mm.
It's back a little bit.
Oh, it's fun. You want me to take over?
I'm continue. I'll be here, but I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's the biggest thing is you gotta, like I mentioned, the man blended 7 or 8 different genres together to make obviously big hits like Superstition. I wish. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? Just go down the list of all of Stevie Wonder's greatest hits, and the guy decided he didn't want to be put in a box, and that was like the first you really saw of that, especially back in the 70s and 80s. And his career spans back to 1967, like as a child performing and doing stuff like so I feel like that's what really sets him apart from everyone. And I mean, the guy's got a laundry list of Grammys and collaboration. Like you name a famous an iconic artist from the 70s, 80s, and I'm willing to bet Stevie Wonder done something with. The guy's last album came out in 2005.
The Offspring.
Dude, I wouldn't put it past him to fucking try.
I would love to see him and Dexter get together.
That would be insane.
That would be fun.
That'd
be real fun.
I fuck with the idea. That'd be awesome. But I just he is a super special artist, and you know, I feel like with people like him, like we forget the talent that we had with truly iconic artists back in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Well, I mean, and still now even,
yeah, but
like there are still people. Well, like Tom Morello we covered, but Tom Morello's a lot more recent. There are still people doing new and interesting things.
Yeah, but and you got to look back at you got to look at these people like Stevie Wonder who influenced these people that we're seeing now doing interesting things, or at least their parents, which is going to have that trickle down effect to the current artists. And I mean, shit. Look at my up of country artists, and both my grandfathers were in a country band. Just that's my upbringing, like just surrounded by musicians, yet I'm the metal guy. You never forget what you grew up listening to, but you find a way to that into other genres.
I grew up listening to classic rock, and I still turn on Steve Miller Band's greatest hits every now and then. I'm just saying.
Steve Miller Band's iconic.
Steve Miller Band's great.
Well, that's why. But again, like for me, that's why people like Dolly, Johnny Cash are on people I want to cover, because again, that's what I grew up listening to with my grandparents. My dad is the reason I play guitar, because I'm interested in that he grew up listening to, like Van Halen, Leppard, Queen, like those bands. I have a cardboard cutout of Eddie Van Halen. So you are. Listen, I'm not ashamed of it, Dave. You shouldn't be ashamed.
Ashamed of what?
Me having a life-size cardboard cutout of
No.
Tin Man.
It's not that. I lost like 3 full sentences intermixed over the last bit you've been talking. Like, do you have another microphone?
No.
Okay. Because we're gonna have to fix that sooner than later because it's getting worse and fast.
Yeah, I'll fix it after show, I guess. Did you lose that?
Lose what?
Exactly.
Okay. So next week, and I want to start telling people what our artist of the week is going to be for the following week,
Okay.
and a little bit of why. And I'm picking our artist of the week for next week. And it's going to be Skrillex for helping bring electronic music out of the shadows and more into mainstream culture.
Wookie, I agree. Like, again, we're not saying that Ray Charles wasn't a pioneer of music, but when it comes down to the grand scheme of things, I feel like Stevie Wonder is a little more iconic.
Ray Charles did he did a lot of interesting stuff though.
But the difference between Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder is Stevie Wonder brought it into the public in a pop sense.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder was, in essence, a pop artist while combining all of those other aspects and genres, you know?
And Ray Charles was primarily a blues artist or a subgenre
Blues and
of
R&B.
blues, soul.
Yeah. By the way, I love the idea of doing Skrillex. I've been a fan of his since fucking 2011.
Bass,
I still listen to his music on
in the
like,
immortal
on the
words
regular.
of Skrillex, bass make that bitch come.
Oh yes.
But yeah, and there are a bunch of other electronic artists that we're probably going to cover. We're going to cover Daft Punk for sure at some point.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Daft Punk is on the list. There's a bunch of EDM artists. I do have some new releases. So we're gonna start out July 29th. Beyonce released her first album in 6 years called Renaissance.
What are you doing, Queen Bee?
She been busy raising kids.
Look, all I'm going to say is, Queen Bee, the next time you're going to release an album, come on the show. Make the official announcement here. We'll let you.
100%. 100%. I'm here for it.
We will let you have the privilege of announcing your album here first.
Dude, what world do we live in that Blue Ivy is 10 years old now? Jesus.
Who the fuck is Blue Ivy?
Her firstborn child.
Oh.
They have 3 kids now.
I don't pay attention to other people's families who I don't know because I don't care.
I only do because I love Jay-Z.
I only care about Chris Hemsworth's kid because she was in a movie and did good.
She was in a movie.
And did good. She did good. Good job.
Yes, did very good.
Good job, little Hemsworth. I'm very proud
Both of his daughters were, right?
His daughter and his youngest son, I think.
Yeah, okay. Who else? Speaking of EDM artists, Calvin Harris released a new album on August 5th called Funk Wave Bounces Volume 2.
The fuck?
That's the most Calvin Harris shit I've ever heard. He has a bunch of collabs like normal. I have not had a chance to listen to the. Probably will check it out tomorrow. I love Calvin Harris. And Neil Young released a live album called Noise and Flowers. It's from his 2019 European tour. That also came out on August 5th.
Raise your hand if you didn't even know Neil Young was still alive.
Let alone fucking touring.
Right?
But...
Well, and Neil Young was part of, there were 3 guys and then there were 4 guys and it was all their last names.
I don't know.
I'm very nauseous all of a sudden, Wookie. It happened earlier today, too. Like, my mouth is watering, like I'm going to throw up.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Yeah, because he joined Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah. But yeah, it's from his 2019 tour.
It's really not.
Again, didn't know he was touring still. Good for you though, Neil Young. Yeah, I know my mic is ass.
Dude, it was
It
fine
never-
up until like 2 weeks ago, and then it just started doing weird shit every once in a while, and it's just, I don't know what's going on with it now.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I paid like $100 for this thing. So if you guys want to,
That's what I
you
paid
know,
for. That's what I paid for this.
yeah.
And this is
listen,
an Audio Technica microphone.
I'm gonna fix it tonight, or try to at least.
Are you going to spank it until it behave like a naughty little boy?
No, I'm going to hurt its feelings too.
Well, tell it it has small penis. That usually upset people.
You don't even light up anymore. The fuck are you doing?
You cannot light up my life. You cannot even light up yourself.
You don't flash when I want you to flash. The
What
fuck?
was the song I wanted to parody about drugs earlier?
Oh my god.
Because the only thing in my head right now is, wouldn't it be nice if we were richer? Wouldn't it be nice to
No,
do
it's-
some
oh my
drugs? But that's not it.
Although that would be funny. Oh my god, I can't.
I
think
can't
of
either.
it.
It's completely gone.
I cannot think of it.
I have to start recording every conversation I have with you, Chris.
Like, 'cause we say some crazy shit.
This is me telling you that in the future, any conversation you're having with me may be recorded for quality and memory retention purposes.
For quality purposes. Oh my god. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh my, what the fuck song was it? Because then I went on to say that I wouldn't do it because you mentioned you wanted to do it for Secret Sex Lips, and I'm like, I don't want the band to turn into a Weird Al Yankovic thing. Because I don't really like Weird Al.
Because he has questionable taste.
Do I?
You do. Weird Al's amazing.
I don't know. He doesn't do it for me.
How many albums have you sold?
25.
How many albums has he sold?
More than 25.
A lot more than 25.
I don't know. And
How many albums have I sold?
I don't know, Dave. How many?
37. I have actually sold 37 albums.
I'm trying to think now.
Our EP was a digital limited release and there were 37 downloads.
What fucking song was it? We were listening to music.
Oh, was it one of the songs that we played?
It might have been
I'm going to look at my history.
something doing drugs.
We were going to do drugs and have a good time.
For legal reasons, that is a joke.
Oh yeah, that is 100% a joke.
Don't do drugs. Okay. Drugs are bad. Unless they're free. Still, don't do drugs. Yeah, what song was it?
I'll remember it later and then be like, oh God, and then you're going to get a message at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm going to wake up from a dead sleep and yell the name of the song. And then I'm going to message it to you and then I'm going to go back to sleep. And then you're going to wake up and be like, the fuck?
The fuck?
And then you'll remember.
Holy shit. Wow. We yeah, we got through pretty fast today.
Oh,
I
we
don't think
did.
we don't have much left to talk about.
We don't. I figured the Marvel stuff would take us longer than it did.
And we even went on like tangents.
But, well, to be fair though, I'm usually like kind of piecing together and formulating stuff as we go, but I've had many weeks to think about this now.
Indeed you have.
And usually it's like I have 2 days, so I'm still kind of putting pieces together, but I've had many weeks to think about this. And I'm very excited. I just chuckled on the inside because I saw our room name again. That being said, I think we're going to cut a little early today, guys.
Dave, what's your plan for stream?
So I have two options. I'm going to be streaming on my own channel here in a little bit. So I'm either going to play some more Assassin's Creed Syndicate,
Which will probably have me on commentary, like
or
usually.
I might do a streamed recording for YouTube for Minecraft. Hardcore modded Mine, and it is very hard. I've already died twice and had to start over. And the first episode's recorded, but hardcore modded Minecraft, but subs equal extra lives.
Yikes.
Oh god, it's so brutal. Well, you saw. I showed you. It's brutal. I'm at one moment, okay, spoiler for a video that's not out yet. At one moment I'm just fucking standing there and then I die. I'm at full health and I'm standing there and then I just fucking die. And I'm like, what the fuck killed me? I was so mad.
Oh my god. So
and I was in the coolest fucking village. That village was so cool.
If you guys are interested in watching Dave stream, come hang out with him. I am going to shout him out in the chat right now.
It will probably be Syndicate though.
Which will most likely have me on commentary.
I want to get through at least 2 episodes and have the first episode posted before I start streaming it.
If you guys aren't following us on our socials, check us out there. Also, check us out on our YouTube channel. We have just reruns of this. We're gonna have more exclusive content coming, as well as some new podcasts that'll be showing up there, gaming videos, etc.
Oh, and coming soon, a new segment, that will probably also end up on TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
Indeed.
Called Spilled Tea.
So it's where we talk about we talk shit about people that work for the company.
But they don't really exist.
They don't know that.
No, it's better that they do know that.
Oh, yeah. No, well, still.
No, it's better that they know that we're talking about people that don't exist.
Fair. I don't know. I like the idea of people being like, oh, did you hear what they said about their employees? Yeah.
Yeah, they're dicks. Cancel them.
Yeah, right.
They're not even real people. Jesus. We made a bunch of shit up for funnies.
Yeah, right.
Have you not heard of sketch comedy? What the
fuck?
Real.
Smosh been doing it forever.
Yeah, but that's employees making fun of each other.
And we're just making fun of imaginary people.
That being said, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, guys. It's been a blast as always.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to grab something to eat, use the restroom, stretch a little bit before stream gets started, but that'll probably start here in the next half hour or so.
Right.
Say hi to my child, who I only got to see briefly before stream started.
You should probably go say hi to your child. That is important.
Also, if you haven't hit that follow button, hit the follow button. What are you doing with your life? Follow.
Indeed. We are 10 followers away from 100 followers.
That's a true statement, fam. Check out the YouTube channel. Check out not only all of our socials, but me and Chris's socials. I'm everywhere at Dave Levels Up.
And I'm usually everywhere at FinJiff. So.
Except where he's not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look, guys, it's been awesome. Until we see you again. Keep it simple. Stay weird. I rearranged. Okay. I'm sorry. I rearranged how some of my windows are, and it totally fucked me up. Because this window arrangement is better for doing this show, but none of my buttons are where they're supposed to be.
That is spectacular.
And I've been struggling with that this entire fucking show.
Oh my God. That made my day. Thank you for that.
Oh, God. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.